Sorry for that, my brother came to my room. Let's go and have a look at this. Okay, cool. So we set the width to 100%, and if we kind of just like let go of it, it'll probably show something like, oh, sorry, this is the previous thing that I was letting. Okay. So let's have a look at the image background and see what are the different ways that you can set the position of the image inside the thing, right? So I think if I set the position to as relative and then, or set the position as absolute even, and set the bottom to 0. Position, absolute, and then bottom to 0. Let's see what this does. All right, cool. It looks like it is actually working. I don't really know if I should do this, like put it exactly at the bottom. And one thing that does is that it basically moves all the contents down too, which is a pretty big no-no. I don't want that. So let's get rid of these two. If I increase the margin from top, does that move the icon and everything with it? Yes, it does. Alright, so that's not a good thing. Definitely not looking for that. That does make everything a little bit complicated, doesn't it? So let's go and have a look at what the image height was here. Height is 355 pixels. Height 355. And have a look. Okay, cool. This, at least it looks nice. But the image, I want some styling to be applied here so that it only applies to the background image and not something else. So let's go here. I did see one property here that was doing something, so I wonder if that actually makes sense. So it's basically this called the Resize Mode. So let's try different Resize modes to see if this actually makes any difference. All right, Resize Mode. Resize Mode. Alright, so there's a whole bunch of different ways that you can basically put this resize mode here. So there's cover, contain, stretch, repeat, and center. So I don't really know if center is the best way to do it. Let's go and try it. Resize mode, center, because I do want this to be a little bit farther. Okay, that's what that does. So if I delete this, it'll make the image 100% width. But if I don't put it there, it'll if I do put it there, it'll like center it, but in like a really bad way that I don't really like. So all right, looks like this is gonna be a challenge. I'm gonna have to pretty much set this image background. I think I'm gonna have to basically just move everything above this image. So there it is. View, actually, let's move this view up here too. All right, cool. So the view has been moved up. Let's get rid of this potential. I think it might have some flex. Let's see. Decentralized reserve currency. Yeah, that's good. Let's put some background here to see how far it stretches to. All right, so that is not actually stretching that far. I wonder. Oh, actually, that's because of the resize mode that was making it center. That's pretty good. Let's get rid of this margin top here. That'll make it better. Yeah. Let's get rid of this tomato background. All right, cool. This is looking pretty great, honestly. Another way, and you see this cutoff here, so the way that I'm going to fix that is by wrapping everything in another view, and then style, setting so the flex on that view is going to be 1, and then background is going to be this guy. Background, actually that's background color. So once I do that, I can actually move the entire thing into it, right? And I get rid of this flex here. All right, cool. So now we achieved whatever it was that we wanted to do. All right, cool. I want some margin here, so let's just go ahead and implement that. So over the image background thingy, I basically need like a margin top of like 100. Actually, 100 is too much. 50. Boom. All right, cool. So this part, so far so good. It looks pretty good. Let's go back here. Now we're gonna pretty much put this start now button here. That is pretty small, like pretty simple. Let's go ahead and create touchable native feedback. I think that'll be better. Style, background color. So let's take a look at this background color here. Multiple clicks. Okay, there we go. All right, cool. And then let's put a text here. Start now. Start now. Let's see what that looks like. So if I take a look at that here right now, it doesn't really look that good. And I think I know what the reason is for that. I pretty much have to wrap this whole thing in a view. And then maybe give this style to that view. Whoops, sorry. All right, cool. So we've got the view, and then we've got the touchable native feedback inside of it. All right, not bad. It actually isn't too bad. All right, cool. So let's take a look at this start now, and right-click on it. Copy CSS. I just want to see what the font size is for this. Let's paste it for a second. Okay, font size is 18 pixels, right? So we go here, style, font size 18. So I should make it a little bit bigger. All right, cool. And also one thing that I want to see. Okay, padding. Horizontal is 42 pixels, padding vertical is 20 pixels. Okay, so padding horizontal 42, padding vertical, what was it? 20. And I think that's pretty much it. I wonder, okay, so this whole thing is filling out the entire space, which is, I wonder if I can basically set a flex of 0 and that'll fix it. It doesn't fix it, no, not necessarily. So how do I create a button that has a fixed width? Well, in this case, it's pretty simple. I can just hard code it. So width 230 pixels. All right, so that is actually kind of working pretty well. Let's do text, or actually let's do align contents, or actually justify. Justify content center. Whoops, center. All right. No, that doesn't do it. Align items. Maybe that'll do it. Yep, that did it. And I think we need the same thing for the top part as well. So that centers it. Okay, cool. And the next thing is the border radius for this, so that we can make the corners round. So let's take a look at it. Border radius, I guess the height of this whole thing is, I don't know, what is the height? I think we should set it to the height. Let's actually set it to 10 right now, see what happens. So, okay, 10 is pretty good. I wonder if it's the height. Okay, the height is 67. Let's try setting the border to 30. Um, that pretty much almost made it vertical. 33.5 technically does what we want, which is like full circle. All right, cool. So that part is done. Start now. I think this is bold, so let's just make it font weight bold. All right, cool. And that made our app button bold as well. Not bad. So now what we have to do is to pretty much move it down a little bit. So how do we do that? All right, so I want it to be actually like down quite a bit, and I want it to be like actually, I don't know, maybe like 40 pixels from the bottom. So not sure if this is a bad idea, but let's see. Position, absolute, bottom, 40. All right, so it looks like it is working. And it does have, so like if the image ends at here, this does have like a 40 pixel margin from the bottom. All right, cool. So it looks like our landing page for the most part is done. Now it's just to figure out this kind of gradient thingy, which is pretty cool, honestly. I really like it. But it would be a tough thing to pull off. Or maybe not. Let's see. It would definitely be an SVG image, but if I can actually like copy it as in PNG, that would be the easiest way to do it. So this is a PNG, it's basically like a rectangle. Export it at, I guess, like 4x even, I'm guessing. Let's make it gradient.png, copy it, and paste it in here. All right. Gradient. And now we've got gradient. All right, cool. So let's have a look at what we can do here. So we want to put it somewhere up here. In order to be able to do that, we ideally want to put that within this linear gradient, and that would have to be in a view, I'm guessing, or alternatively we can basically put it as an image background for this whole Olympus thingy that we have here. So let's try that actually. So we have this view, right? We'll put this thing here. I'll basically move all of the stuff within it. All right, cool. And then put the image and the text within the image background and pretty much get rid of this view that we have here. All right, let's clean it up a little. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So that has the same background. Now let's just change that background to this background. What the hell is that? All right, let's go and change this one. Gradients. All right, cool. So not bad. It is looking a little weird, and that is probably because it's doing align item center, padding top 100. Huh. Weird. So let's have a look into the images again. Open source images. Let's remove all of that. Alright, so this is the gradient image that we're working with. It does seem to go like at alpha of 0 at that point. So I'm guessing I should basically just, so if I, like all these styles will probably apply to everything. So cover, or what was it called, that attribute that they have? Oh yeah, so scale it uniformly. I don't want it that way. I don't want to center it either necessarily, but let's just see how that would work. Resize mode, center. Didn't particularly fix anything. So what did I do with this one? I did margin top, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. So this doesn't really seem to fix anything. I wish there were a way to apply styles only to this image background. Alright, this looks like it's going to take a little bit of thinking from me, so I'm going to pause the video and then see if I can figure it out, and then we'll continue.